Now let's go through some examples of actually solving inequalities using addition and subtraction. So here we're going to solve the inequality, and then we're also going to graph our solutions. So here I have b minus 2 is greater than negative 9, and I want to get b by itself. So really for all of these, you're going to treat it the same as if we're just solving a normal equation. So if this said b minus 2 equals negative 9. We'll go through the same steps, but now instead of an equal sign, we're just going to have our inequality symbol in there. So that means for this, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. And I get that b is greater than negative 7. And then I also want to graph that. So I'm going to put negative 7 in the middle. I have negative 8 and negative 6 on either side. First, I need to determine whether it's an open or closed circle. Since this one's strictly greater than, it's going to be an open circle. And then I want everything greater than negative 7, so I'm going to put my arrow in the direction of all the numbers greater. Another way that you can tell that is that this inequality symbol is pointing to the right, and so that means that we need to graph to the right. Let's try another one here. So I have m minus 3 is less than or equal to 5. To get m by itself, I need to add 3 to both sides. And so I get that m is less than or equal to 5 plus 3, which is 8. So I have 8 in the middle, 7 and 9 on either side. First, is it open or closed? Here, since I have less than or equal to, I'm including the 8, so that means it's going to be a closed circle. And I want everything less than it, so I'm going to point everything to the left. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and skip over to number 5. Here I have z plus 1 over 6. On the right hand side, so 5, 6 is less than or equal to z plus 1 over 6. So here this time I'm adding, so I want to subtract 1, 6 from both sides. 5, 6 minus 1, 6 is 4, 6. It's less than or equal to z. And so if you remember from our previous videos, this is a little bit confusing and maybe a little misleading to look at because my variable's on the right hand side. So what I like to do is to go ahead and swap it over. So I'm going to put the z on the left, my 4, 6, which is really, when you reduce that, is 2/3 on the right. And then I need to also flip this inequality because I need the open end still pointing to my z. So I really have z is greater than or equal to 2/3. And so now when I graph that, 2/3 in the middle, let's go ahead and have 1/3, and then 3/3 is really the same thing as 1. I have greater than or equal to, so that means it's a closed circle. And now I want everything bigger than it, so I want to point everything to the right. Okay, go ahead and pause the video. I want you to try and do the remaining 3 problems on your own. When you think you have it, go ahead and press play. So these are the answers that you should have gotten for problems 3, 4, and 6. For problem 3, we again needed to be careful because our variable was on the right hand side, so make sure you switch those and then also flip your sign. And then I also reduced my 2/4 to be 1/2. And then for number 4, that one was pretty straightforward, and number 6.